Hello, fellow human! Welcome back to another Dang Tour / Choosing Beggars. We have 6 stories in total for you guys today. The first story is posted by you / Jonathan LB with the title of Ex-Friend Expected Free Rent. This subreddit made me remember my ultimate story on this subject as far as baffling behavior. My lifelong friend wanted to live in my condo that I wasn't actively using because I had relocated to another city, apartment, before I was going to then rent out the condo. I told him that he could use it for a small amount of time until he found his own place, maybe even 6 months, just not for too long. I paid $280 per month HOA dues, it had pool, security, etc. And property taxes ran me about $200 per month, plus the electric bill was then assessed by unit each month. I told him he could stay at the condo for $550 per month, just my cost to keep it going, and this was in Southern California. He agreed to pay, didn't seem to grumble or anything, and I honestly thought I was doing something really nice for my longest time friend. An 820 square foot condo with a pool for $550 per month in California, you're just not going to find that. I wasn't going to make a dime off him, I just didn't want to lose any money and subsidize his lifestyle out of my pocket. Fast forwards a few months, my other friends all informed me that he's been texting them about what a bastard I am, that I dared to charge him rent to stay there. Like, how could a friend charge money for that? My friends didn't know what was the deal, so they asked me, and I told them I'm not charging him for any rent. I'm literally just asking that he pay the cost of the unit and nothing more. For reference, when he left eventually, I rented it for several years at $1,300 per month, so he was not even paying half of the market rent. I owned the condo free and clear, so I had a lower cost with no mortgage, thus allowing me to charge him less and break even. Finally, when we eventually went to move my stuff out of there, and yes, it was fully furnished too with nice TV, kitchen items, everything you could need, he had broken about 1/4 of my dishes and he left a used rubber hanging on my trash can. And while my 105-pound girlfriend and I packed my stuff, he sat on the couch not offering to help at all, even once in 3 days. He laughed about the rubber. He took a giant dump in the bathroom and clogged the toilet, requiring a plumber to fix, and then when we went to dinner, he forgot his wallet and never paid me back. He even woke us up early after we were late packing by talking on the phone with online friends he met on various chat forums. We didn't remain friends long after that, needless to say. I couldn't believe just how oblivious that is, to get such a good deal, then badmouth the person for doing you a favor and trash their place. I spent a bunch more on housekeeping, and my real estate agent who was renting it out after he left said the housekeeping service had never seen a place so filthy. We noticed that too. Besides the rubber, there was dirt and filth everywhere. He wiped it out. Darn, how can people become so freaking ungrateful? But still, it's good that thanks to incidents like these, you can sort out crappy friends. On to the second story written by you / create a new account use. Finally got the courage to say no. This just happened 15 minutes ago. I'm still here, formerly homeless, been homeless for a long time, on and off most of my life. Early childhood would have days not eating for a couple of days at a time. I enjoy food. On a break from chores, I decided to go to the park and get some McDonald's and enjoy people watching. Stuff I did when I was homeless. As I was walking up to the entrance, I saw this lady asking people at the drive-thru whether they can get her a sandwich. Naturally, they said no. I stood there for a while before I decided to say duck it and get her something, so I called her over. She thanked me, and in we went. I ordered off the dollar menu because it's pretty much all I can get. And thing is, the tastiest things on the menu. I told her that she could get one of the meals if she wanted. She ordered a number 1 and then started to order more meals. I interrupted and told her please don't do that. That's when she pointed to these guys in the parking lot and waved them to come in, which they did. She told them that I'm being greedy and I didn't want to buy them meals. I told the cashier I'm not paying for anything more. That's when they also start notching that I'm being a greedy fat duck and start to get in the face. Lucky for me, the manager looks like he just got out of prison and was looking for an excuse to screw somebody up. He got the other guys to leave. That's when the woman went nav to ordering shut off the menu. I told her that I'm not buying her anything anymore and told the cashier I'm only buying things for myself. She keeps itching but eventually leave after manager came back. I'm proud of myself for finally having the courage to say no. I know what it's like to be hungry. It's hard for me to say no in these situations, but I'm glad I did it. Well, it's always a great thing to help people in need, but it's even greater to have courage to stop people from taking advantage over you. On to the third story shared by u/Harold12. Woman at my church wants free housing for her family of 5+. A few years back, this family from my church decided to do mission work and move to India. Fine idea and everything. The husband had been my youth leader for about 3 years at this point, and it was sad to see him go. The church held auctions to fundraise money to support them, like they do with every other mission trip. My dad is an auctioneer and real estate broker, and he volunteered to do both auctions. They raised their money and had been gone for a few years. Last year's Easter, they came back for home for a visit and to introduce everyone to their new baby. Due to some political riots in India, they were unable to return to India for a while and decided to stay here until that subsidized. Here's the wild part. Since they were only staying here temporarily, they didn't have a stable housing plan. What do? Ask my dad to rent them one of his houses for free. Not only that, but they listed off a ton of requirements for the house: large yard, 4 bedrooms, baby-proof, close to the church, etc. Again, all for free. The part that really seemed strange was that they mentioned along with their 3 children they already had, they were in the process of adopting twins from India. I don't know if you can afford to adopt 2 children from around the world but not your housing for your current 3 children. Maybe you should rethink your priorities. Obviously, my dad declined the inquiry but did offer them a trailer in his trailer park to stay in. They declined that. I mean, if they can decline the trailer offer, then I guess they were not that poor after all. On to the fourth story shared by u/MadLordPunt. Exotic car dealership wanted 60 feet more for less than material cost in exchange for exposure. As a working artist for almost 25 years now, I have million stories like these ones I see here in the subreddit. Unfortunately, a lot of them happened back before texting was a main form of communications. Anyway, one of my favorites is when I was contacted about doing a mural. At the time, I had been doing full room murals for businesses on the side while running my custom motorcycle paint shop during the day. A Harley-Davidson dealer gave my number to a new exotic car dealership that was about to open its doors. They sold nothing but Ferraris, Lambos, Porsches, Audis, etc. All expensive and high-end stuff. So the co-owner calls me and introduces himself and tells me about their business, which we will call him Douji Motors. We are looking to have a mural painted in our waiting area. Me, okay, what are you looking to have done and how big? The wall is 60 feet long and 8 feet high, and we want a realistic Lamborghini to span the entire length with the Douji Motors logo. So it would have to be 55 feet by whatever height. Me, okay, is the wall prepped? What does that mean? Me, free of holes, damaged, primed base, and ready for art. No. It's an ugly color right now that needs to be changed and has some damage, but you should see the 10,000 Italian leather couches we bought and all the huge TVs everywhere. Not sure why he included this info? Me, okay, so if you want me to prep the wall, it's going to add to the cost. For what you're looking for in that size, full realism, the logo, the prep work, and the materials, without looking at it, I have to say that it will run about $4,500. Long pause. Well, see, we weren't looking to spend that much. We just spent about 10Ks on all these Italian leather couches and TVs to put in there. We talked to a guy who said they could make the vinyl print out of the picture we want to stick on the wall, and we were hoping that you could do the mural for that price. Me, how much is the vinyl printout? $160. Me, there's just no way. I would charge you that just to prep the wall before I even start doing the art. But all of our Douji Motors customers own expensive cars, and you could sign the mural and they would see it and they would probably have you do work for them. It would be great exposure. Did I mention how we spent 10Ks on Italian leather couches and big screen TVs? Your art would look awesome next to them. Me, I don't need exposure. I have plenty of work. I've never received a referral from someone I made a deal with. So there's no way I'm working for a week on a mural that size for $160. There's no way you'll find someone who will. Buying the vinyl decal. We ended our conversations a few hours later. His business partner called me with the same pitch, acting aggressive, again bragging about the 10,000 Italian leather couches and big screens TV. This time telling me what a mistake I was making because of how much exposure I was going to miss out on. I think the dealership lasted 2 seasons and was gone. I still sometimes cry at night about all the exposure I missed out on by not doing that mural. Bonus side story. Another example would be the mid-2000s when Orange County choppers was all the rage in everybody, and his brother were opening chopper shops and wanting to be the next Jesse James. I would get guys bringing me their custom bikes where they would brag endlessly about how much they spent on their chromed out motor and the CNC custom wheels. Then came time for the quote to paint their terribly welded bike with full artwork around $2,500 to $5,000 depending on certain factors, and they would act like I wanted to sacrifice their firstborn child. Well, I go to a lot of shows and have a lot of friends that will see it. So and so would do it for $1,500, ignoring the fact that they were meeting me at a show where bikes I had printed were on display behind them. Then they get insulting and tell you that you aren't worth that much before a final round of "I know a lot of people." I won't even get started on when street glides and road glides became the thing with their 20 separate pieces to paint, airbrush, and clear coat. Oh boy, weren't they extremely proud of those couches and big TV? On to the 5th story shared by you/Angel Spice. Bride expected free makeup for entire bridal party? As a quick background, I, 23 years old female, am not a makeup artist. I enjoy doing makeup, I'm good at it, and I sometimes will do my friend's makeup if we're going to a party or other event. However, I don't actually have the materials, a range of skin, eyebrow, etc. shades to accommodate anyone who is not similar in tone to me. I also should make it very clear here that I see makeup as a hobby. I lead a pretty busy life as I'm a full-time college course, non-makeup related, and I have a job, non-makeup related. My roommate's sister is getting married in April. I've met her twice. I was in the kitchen eating my cereal and my roommate came in and began describing a conversation that she had with her sister. To summarize, her sister had been saying how she did not want to pay for makeup artists for her and her bridal party for her wedding when OP could just do it. Her bridal party consists of herself, her 4 bridesmaids, and her mother. The wedding is 2-hour drive from my apartment. This alone sets me up with a 10-hour unpaid day. To add this, the wedding is on a Monday, when I would usually work 8-hour shift paid. I also do not have makeup that matches the bride's or any of the bridesmaids' skin or eyebrow tone, so I would have to potentially need to purchase this. I asked my roommate how much I would be paid to do this. I was expecting a smaller sum than a qualified makeup artist, but surely enough to cover travel, any new products, and a gift. Note, I would not be expecting an hourly rate or anything. And she replied saying that I would not be paid at all. To add, I was also not to be invited to the wedding. I'm kind of the view that if you feel like we're close enough for you to ask this favor for me, I should at least be invited as an evening guest. As I'm not a professional, the concept of doing someone's entire wedding party's makeup sort of freaked me out. What if I mess it up, or it doesn't last all day? I'll just be blamed for a bad job when it's a very stressful request. I really think that this needs to be shamed, particularly as my roommate did not seem to see anything wrong about it. If you want good makeup, pay for it. Don't ask favors from people you barely know. A little bit of human respect goes a long way. If you can't afford to pay people for their time, don't have such expensive wedding. Am I overreacting this? FAQs for anyone interested. First, I politely declined after discussion on payment. Second, the bride, 32 years old female, said that I could just do makeup. My roommate did not volunteer me. She did not see anything wrong with it, however, and this was her way of asking me to do it. Third, I'm sure it wasn't ill-intentioned, so I don't think there's much reason to be unkind or hit back. Fourth, I've not had very much kickback, but I tend to agree with most of my commenters that stress wasn't worth the pay grade, or lack thereof. Fifth, based on the probable reactions if the makeup was not up to par, I would consider The Bride to be a CB. Sixth, both of them probably should have known better. Seventh, don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things. Oh no, OP definitely did not overreact this at all. And absolutely under no circumstances should OP agree to do it. Not only OP and the bride were not even that close, they didn't even bother to pay nor invite her to the wedding. On to the sixth story shared by u/Spider Killer. I don't like those books you let me borrow, buy me this one instead. I think we all come in contact with the choosy beggars at some point. Most of mine are too minuscule to bother posting until today. One of my coworkers is also one of my closest friends. He's always been nearby and frequently helps my husband and I out on various projects in our home and even took care of my dogs while I was laboring in the hospital. We even joke at work that he's my work husband, which would be a big no-no due to the office gossip, but he's incredibly gay, so no one bats an eyelash. I preface this way for a reason. He's trying to get into reading and I read a ton. A year ago, I let him borrow my Kindle for a work trip and suggested a book I already had and he absolutely loved it. Just recently, he was traveling again and asked if I had any suggestions that he would like. The problem is that he doesn't have free time, so he's afraid to start reading a book just to not like it. I had a paperback book I knew he would like, but he knew he wanted to be able to just pull up the Kindle app on his phone, so I bought the Kindle version of the book and shared my library with him. An office busybody heard the conversation we had when he returned and the following exchange occurred. Me: I knew you would like it. Are you going to get the sequel? Friend: I already bought it. We'll be driving to the city this weekend, so I want to read it on the drive. Busybody: what are you guys talking about? Friend: Oh, Spyro gave me this access to her Kindle library while I was on vacation, so we were talking about a book she bought for me to read on there. Busybody: Oh, I love to read. Will you share your library with me? Me: I can just show you what I have and you can see if there's anything you'd like to borrow. I don't have much on my Kindle. I usually buy physical copies. Busybodies look through my library. Busybody: Oh, you don't have a book I wanted. Me: Yeah, like I said, the library is fairly limited. There are only like 30-ish books on there. Busybody: Can you look it up in the Amazon store? Me: You can on your phone and then you can download the app and read it right there. Busybody: I know, but can you look it up? Me: Sure, I look it up. It's $7.99. Busybody: Okay, when you download it, will you share it with me? Me: I'm not downloading it. It's not even a book I would read. I can show you how to download it on your phone, but I'm not buying this unless you pay me for it. Busybody: Why would I pay you for a book you get to keep forever and I just be borrowing? Me: Why would I buy a book I would never read for someone else? Busybody: Isn't that what you did for him? Me: No, I bought him a book I actually enjoy. Busybody: Oh, well, let me look at your library again. Maybe there's something I would enjoy. Me: Actually, only one person can have access to it at the time, so until a friend finishes all the book he wants to read in there, I can't share it. And he's a slow reader. Friend: Oh, very slow. But really, why would I buy my friend a book? Why can't I just buy everyone books? Why can't the moon be made of cheese? Why is life so disappointing? Oh, I love that your friend added the very slow to help you out with a guy. That friend is a keeper for sure. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dang Jogo appreciates your time. If you enjoy our content and want to see more of us, stay tuned and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button and ring the bell, or Doggo will cry. Also, you can always tell us, your friendly neighbor Doggo, your experiences in the comment section. I'll catch up with you guys later in the next video.